crowd continues to grow. We keep getting a bigger crowd every year we do this. It's amazing. Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the 2024 Veterans Hall of Fame for the 94th Assembly District. Proud to be your host this morning, Matt Slater. Proud to be the Assemblyman of the 94th District. I'm going to ask... a great friend of mine and a great veteran, great leader for our veteran community, Carl Rohde, to join us up here to say the Pledge of Allegiance. All right, Mr. Rohde. This one's right here, right behind you.
Good morning, everybody. And I don't think I have to remind this group the proper way to say the Pledge of Allegiance, that there's no comma after under God. It's one sentence, please. Thank you. Everybody, please face the flag of our country and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Harder hand salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ready, two. Thank you, everybody. God bless America.
Let's give Carl a big round of applause. We do have a number of dignitaries who are here today, and I want to thank you all for taking time out of your Saturday morning for joining us as we recognize some incredible individuals. I do want to personally thank the town of Carmel for hosting us today, and we do have Town Supervisor Mike Kazari. Mike, you want to come up and say a few words?
Thank you. Just like 3 words. I wanted to thank everybody for coming, and of course, this is wonderful that you do this, and thank you so much for being our 94th Assemblyman, the Fighting 94th. Thank you so much.
94th, that's right. Thanks, Mike. Our county executive, Kevin Byrne, sends his best to everybody. Unfortunately, he had a scheduling conflict, but we do have Barbara Reitz, who's going to say a few words on behalf of our county executive. We won't tell the county executive about the applause she got. Don't worry. Barbara.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Barbara Reitz. I am here, firstly, on my own behalf. I'd like to congratulate all our veterans and those who we are awarding this morning. And also on behalf of Kevin Byrne, I know that he's on his way. I know that he loves our veterans. So congratulations to you all. God bless you, and thank you for all that you do.
Thank you, Barbara. And on behalf of our fantastic Congressman Mike Lawler, we have Sean Glendenning, an Army Reserve Major. Major Glendenning, you want to come up and say a few words?
Good morning, everyone. So I'm here today on behalf of Congressman Lawler, but I'm also here today as a veteran. And I want to recognize my friend, our Assemblyman, because I know he's too humble to say it, but Matt Slater here serves in the U.S. Navy. So I want to recognize his service as well. Thank you, Matt. And I want to recognize and thank every one of the veterans here today. We do have some certificates for the honorees today, but on behalf of Congressman Lawler, on behalf of myself, I want to thank each and every one of you, and if you ever need any assistance with veterans issues or anything that we can do, please reach out to our office. Please reach out to Matt. We're here to support every one of you. Thank you for what you do.
And the Congressman's office does a great job for our veterans. In fact, if you turn around, you can find their Putnam County office door right in the back of the room there. So by all means, please take advantage. They are fantastic advocates and do a great job. I just wanted to provide some brief remarks before we recognize our honorees today. I want to thank my staff, first and foremost. These events don't happen on their own, and I have arguably the best staff in the New York State Assembly, who I see all around the room today. We have my Chief of Staff, Kira Brunner. We have Deborah Marks. Yep, absolutely. I see we have Frank Garcia, who's on my staff. Frank's a veteran himself. Frank, thank you. Shawnee, Brendan in the back, thank you guys for all you do. And what do you know? Before I begin, the man himself just came in, Mr. County Executive. Why don't you come up real quick? Thanks for joining us.
Well, first I want to thank Assemblyman Slater for continuing this amazing tradition. I think it started many years ago with Senator Greg Ball, Terrence Murphy, and to see our state Assemblyman continuing this tradition, honoring our amazing military heroes, it really just speaks volumes. I know he serves our country. Is that official yet now? Did you get your pin yet? Yeah. All right. Well, no, he's been in the Navy Reserves for a number of years now, but First Lieutenant, very proud of this man. He does a remarkable job in the State Assembly and also supporting this country and our military. I'm very grateful to him. Congratulations to all of our heroes during this ceremony. Thank you. God bless you, and enjoy Veterans Day weekend.
My good buddy, County Executive Byrne. We won't tell him about Barbara's applause, though. Well, again, this is a very special weekend. In fact, it marks the 70th year that we as a nation recognize and celebrate the amazing veterans all across our country. 70 years ago, President Eisenhower signed a new law making Armistice Day Veterans Day here in the United States of America. And in the fighting 94th Assembly District, we cherish our veterans because we know that freedom isn't free. As President Reagan reminded us, freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it on to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on for them to do the same. For generations, brave men and women have answered our nation's call to fight for, protect, and pass on the very freedoms we as Americans enjoy today. These are incredible warriors who are willing to stand face to face with the enemy and prevail. Today and this weekend, we as a nation take time to celebrate our veterans, but really every day that we are free should be Veterans Day. So what is a veteran? Something that we should reflect on this weekend. Well, Father Dennis Edward O'Brien, who was a World War II Marine and later became a Maryknoll priest, described the veteran in this way. He is, and I quote, an ordinary, yet an extraordinary human being, a person who offered some of his life's most vital years in the service of his country, and who sacrificed his ambitions so others would not have to sacrifice theirs. He is a soldier and a savior and a sword against the darkness, and he is nothing more than the finest, greatest testimony on behalf of the finest, greatest nation ever known. In just a few minutes, I have the distinct honor of inducting 7 incredible veterans into our Hall of Fame. That is 7 proud Americans spanning decades of service and sacrifice in the name of freedom. Heroes who stood in the deserts of Afghanistan, who were on active duty during Operation Desert Shield and Desert Storm. Heroes who saved lives on Black Monday in Vietnam, who sailed to Korea, and one of the last surviving Marines who fought at Iwo Jima. As Father O'Brien said, these are ordinary, yet extraordinary human beings that we are proud to call our friends and honored to call our neighbors. In 1940, following the British victory at the Battle of Britain, Prime Minister Winston Churchill said, "Never was so much owed by so many to so few." Winston was spot on. And to all of the veterans who are here today, or all the veterans who are watching at home, on behalf of a grateful country, a proud state, and a thankful community, we say to you all, mission accomplished and welcome home. Thank you. So I just want to take a moment also to explain how the Veterans Hall of Fame works. We reach out to each town, and we ask each town board to nominate a veteran from their community. I don't walk around picking out veterans of who to honor or who to celebrate. We work with our local governments, and I see many of our partners here who are going to come up in a little bit. And so I really want to thank our town boards for spending time and nominating these incredible, incredible people for us to recognize. Now, I'm going to read a bit about each one. I'm going to ask them to come up. We're going to present them with some certificates and a medal. And then I'm going to ask our partners in government who are here to join us as well. So we're going to start with Putnam Valley's own James Apostolico. Mr. Apostolico, also known as JD, served in the United States Air Force, where he earned the rank of sergeant. Where's JD? JD, you want to come on up? Here, stand right over here with me. So, during his time, he would travel to Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio, Texas for basic training and Police Combat Academy, to Hahn Air Base in Germany for base nuclear weapons security and law enforcement operations, and to Ellsworth Air Force Base in South Dakota for Strategic Air Command Minutemen nuclear missile security. Wow, that's a mouthful. JD was honorably discharged in 1983. Upon returning home, JD joined the Ossining Police Department, where he would retire after 24 years as a sergeant. JD is the second assistant chief of Putnam Valley's Volunteer Fire Department and has coached girls basketball, football, and boys basketball for 35 years. JD is a well-loved, well-respected, and just all-around great guy. He spends his waking moments always giving of himself. He's either volunteering his time at the school, coaching, or at the fire department. He is a true American hero in every definition of the term. JD, thank you so much for your service, your sacrifice. Congratulations. Here, we're going to take a quick picture over here. Okay, and one for Kira. And one over here. Makeup. All right. And I'd like to invite our friends and community leaders from Putnam Valley to come up and join us, please. We have Jackie Anabi, Christian Russo, Stacy Tompkins. Come on up, guys. And, oh, Chief DeMarco, Fire Chief, come on up. Here, guys, jump right in there. You want to say a few words? Jack?
Come on.
Well, you can move it down.
He forgets we're short.
Listen, no one...
Thank you for doing this. This is amazing. I've been coming here since I was part of the town board, so honoring our veterans, especially right before Veterans Day, is amazing. I mean, this is just a small way of saying thank you for everything you've done. We're indebted to you forever. Your service to our community is amazing. You, all-around great guy. We appreciate everything you do for Putnam Valley, and you well deserved. So congratulations, JD. Thank you very much.
Stacy, Christian, you guys want to say anything? You're good? You're good? JD, would you like to say a few words?
Like to take the next couple of hours to now just real quick, 3 points. I'm truly humbled and honored to be in front of American heroes. Each and every one of you know what it takes to when you're 18 years old to go into the military and serve our country. Just real quick, this morning I heard on the news we still have over 35,000 veterans that are homeless, that are living out on the streets. Just keep that in mind. I think we need to do a better job attacking all homeless in America. Also, please never forget the wounded warriors that went into battle and are now veterans, but they're disabled in some form. And real quick, those veterans that paid the ultimate sacrifice. Do we have any Gold Star mothers here? No? The Gold Star's mothers, you know, as we all know, they sent their sons and daughters into combat and they never returned home. So please keep those true heroes in mind. Pray for our veterans every day. Sir, thank you so much. It's a great honor to accept this.
Thank you very much for your service. Thank you. We'll get one more quick picture with the town board. Yeah, go right in here. Go right in here. We'll do one more. Yeah, you want to bring your family up?
Family up.
Come on up. Yeah, come on up. Come on up. Yeah, get right there. Get right there. Right in the middle there. No problem. There we go. All right, we're gonna go to Kira first. Okay. Okay. All right. Congratulations, again. Well done. Absolutely. Thank you. Jackie, look. See what I got to deal with? Okay. JD talked about homeless veterans, but I think it's also important to, another number to keep in mind is 22. 22 veterans a day taking their lives. And so when you talk about the debt that we owe our veterans, yes, this is also important for us to reflect on how we are repaying that debt. Like I said, we've got, as JD pointed out, 35,000 homeless veterans and 22 veterans a day taking their own lives because of their invisible scars that we do not see from their service. We're going to move on to the town of Patterson. This actually, before I bring up our veteran here, this is actually particularly special because I know this is the first time that we have an individual from the family being inducted into the Veterans Hall of Fame, and his mom was already recognized by us for our Women of Distinction, and that would be Meg Kearney. But I want to bring up Michael Kearney from the town of Patterson. Come on up, Mike. Mike Kearney attended Brewster High School and was very active in the NJROTC program, graduating in 2006. By the way, if you haven't seen the Brewster ROTC program, it is fantastic. They have about 250 high school students out of 1,000 that are part of this program. It really is incredible. Mike achieved the rank of Command Master Chief, the first cadet in Brewster High School to ever hold that office. He enlisted in the United States Army and served in the infantry from 2011 to 2013. He spent 1 year overseas serving in Afghanistan. Mr. Kearney reached the rank of Specialist 4. Like his father, upon his return, he joined the Putnam Lake VFW and served as commander for 3 years. As commander, the post was honored as an All-American post from the National VFW. Michael has been a member of the Putnam Lake Fire Department since he was 16, and now this year became a life member. While serving with the department, he became an EMT and served in that capacity until the town of Patterson took over the ambulance. He has worked his way up through the ranks and is currently fire chief. A few years ago, Michael brought an initiative forward to start a rescue task force in Putnam County. He worked with the Bureau of Emergency Services and the Putnam County Sheriff's Department to move this forward. The Putnam County Legislature adopted the Rescue Task Force on September 3rd, 2024. In today's world, the need for a task force to aid the police and have fire and EMS ready to support the community at large has become a necessity. He continues to serve our community every single day, and we are honored to induct him into the Veterans Hall of Fame for the 94th District. Michael, congratulations. Where's Mr. Gross? Up.
More this way, Mike. Thank you.
All right. Up, one over here. All right, fantastic. And I know we have with us the town supervisor of the town of Patterson, Rich Williams. Rich, you want to come up?
So I'm privileged to be here today, and I would like to offer my thanks for Assemblyman Matt Slater for continuing this tradition, recognizing the veterans within our community. I would like to thank all the veterans who have served. Without you, we wouldn't have the country we have. So thank you very much for your service, and I would like to extend my thanks also to those being recognized today. It's good to do. It's important that we recognize these individuals within our community. The town of Patterson would like to present this proclamation to Mr. Kearney. As Matt noted, the Kearney family in the town of Patterson is a somewhat special family. They do so much within our community. And and Michael holds that tradition. He is working tirelessly within our community on so many different fronts. So thank you, Michael, for all you do and for getting this award.
Want to say a few words before we bring the cameras up? No? You sure? Yeah. All right. We're gonna have the family come on up. Let's give a big round of applause for the Kearney family. Yeah, we're gonna step right over this way. We're gonna scoot over this way. Yep. We'll flank Mike. Yep. Now, where are you going? Get over here. Come on. All right, one over here for the fire department, right over here. All right, fantastic. Great job, guys. Great job, everybody. All right. Next, from the town of Southeast, we have my good friend Jack Duncan. Where's Jack? Come on up here, buddy. Right over here. Come here, John. All right. Everyone knows Jack. Mr. Duncan spent 6 years serving in the U.S. Marine Corps and 27 years in the U.S. Army and Army National Guard combined. He was active duty during Operation Desert Shield and Desert Storm. He was part of the 2001 rescue and recovery operation at Ground Zero in New York City, and he helped with security as senior NCO for Alpine Venue at the 2002 Utah Winter Olympics. John's last duty assignment was as a battalion operations sergeant and senior enlisted advisor for Headquarters 1st Battalion of the 169th Leadership Regiment. Retiring as a master sergeant, Mr. Duncan then worked from 1977 to 2020 as an engineering inspector for substation operations with Con Ed of New York and as a high-voltage electrician for the U.S. Department of the Interior from 2000 to 2007. He and his wife, Debbie, will be celebrating 34 years of marriage in December of 2024. Their daughter, Danielle, is a tattoo artist. Their son, James, works for the State Department, and they have 2 cats named Pepper and Sir Duncan the Brave Kitty. Mr. Duncan belongs to a veteran snowboarding and skiing club, which he invites me to every time he goes out. Eventually, I'll get there. And is a commandant of the Putnam County Marine Corps League, commander of the Brewster American Legion, and president of the Brewster Lions Club. He was town historian for the town of Southeast from 2014 to 2019 and held a 7-year term as the Historical Society on the Historical Society Committee as well. And it is a distinct honor to induct an incredible American, a great friend, Jack Duncan, into the Veterans Hall of Fame for the 94th District. Congratulations. Good. And we have a great friend, one of my predecessors, Will Stevens, on behalf of the town of Southeast. Will, come on up.
Thank you, Assemblyman. I wasn't expecting to speak today. I apologize. The town board had scheduling difficulties and couldn't be here today, but they gave me the great task of coming and congratulating Jack on his induction into the Hall of Fame. And I thank the Assemblyman for continuing this tradition. Do a great job. Jack is a great friend. A great example of what it is to be a veteran and what it is to be a citizen. I only point out last year about this time, Jack asked me to present on behalf of my dad, who was a veteran of World War II, at the ceremony at the Veterans Field in Brewster. And that was a memorable occasion for me, and certainly my dad, who recently passed away, appreciated it. And I thank you, the town board, town of Southeast, thanks you, congratulates you.
Is that a quick picture? One for your son. All right, now let's get your son up here. Come on, Jimmy. Come on. Yeah, get right next to Dad. Get right next to Dad. There you go. All right. Bless you. All right, we'll look at here real quick. All right, very good. Jack, you want to say a few words?
Sure. I don't need the mic. I just want to thank my fellow veterans and the community that's here. I was home for Anthony Del Duco. My dad was inducted a few years back, and I think we all learned in this community what it means to be a veteran from these World War I and World War II veterans, and that we're just carrying on the legacy. And the big thing is that to help each other. And as we come into the holiday season, the only thing I can say is do a buddy check on that veteran that lives down the block from you, young and old, and the deployed soldiers, and the deployed Marines and the Navy and everybody else, because we're in reserve units up here. Sometimes that family doesn't have the support. We all the support. So please, thank you very much.
He threw a great party last weekend, right? Right, Jack? Yeah. Marine Corps ball was fantastic. All right. Next, out of the town of Kent, Otto Romanino. Where's Otto at? Come on, Sailor. Get up here, Sailor. Mr. Romanino entered into the United States Navy in 1954 during the Korean War. He has lived all his life in New York, growing up in Mount Vernon, and when he got out of the Navy and was married, he settled in the great town of Kent. Today, you will often see Mr. Romanino wearing his Navy jacket. Mr. Romanino has been an active member of the Kent Public Library Board for 22 years. He served as treasurer for the last 20 years and is also the chair of the Budget Committee and the Buildings and Grounds Committee. He oversaw a major renovation to the lower floor of the library, creating both the Friends of the Library bookseller and a space for library programs. Mr. Romanino also serves as the Carmel High School football team Chang Gang, assisting the umpires to measure distances. Now we know why they always get those first downs. He's a fan of classic cars and has assisted with car shows for over 20 years. He has 3 children and probably more than 8 grandchildren. That's correct, more than 8 grandchildren and 2 great-grandchildren. More than 2 great-grandchildren. All right. The youngest, born just a year ago, is named Otto after him. All right. And it is a distinct honor and privilege to induct Otto into the Veterans Hall of Fame for the 94th Assembly District. Thank you for your service. Welcome home, sir. Mr. Gross go. Mr. Gross, you good? Okay, very good. Very good, very good. And I'm just seeing if there is a representative from the town of Richie Othmer. Yes, thank you, representing the town of Kent. Where's Richie? Come on over here, Richie. Do you want to say a few words on behalf of the town?
My supervisor, Jamie McGlasson, she called me into the office about a month ago, and she said, Assemblyman Slater wants to know who in Kent we can nominate for the Veterans Hall of Fame, and Otto's name came right into my mind immediately. He's a legend in Kent. He's a great guy, and he was also a coach for some famous Carmel football teams. He didn't just do the chains, but he's a great guy, well liked in Kent, and you also come from a big wrestling family too.
Oh, yeah.
I know Jack Duncan and I wrestled from a Hopak, but I know your boys wrestled for Carmel, so we're all. But congratulations, he's a good choice. Thank you.
Let's get a quick picture. One for Barbara. And one for Mr. Gross. All right. I think you have the most out of anybody so far. Let's give Otto a big round of applause.
Thanks, everybody.
You want to say a few words? You want to say a few words?
No, I just want to.
Here, go up to the mic. It's okay.
No, it's a great honor to receive this award. But the real heroes are the ones that gave their lives for the country and the ones that actually fought in battle. So I want to praise them. I want to make one more comment. I have to praise the Veterans Administration and the Veterans Hospital at Castle Point. They're doing a great job. I've been having some medical issues, and they've been 100%, and I give them praise. So anybody that says anything against the VA hospitals, I disagree. Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah, let's do the family issue. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Here, Otto, stand right in the middle here. Yep, absolutely. Sorry about that. Here, yep. All right, we're gonna start this way, and we're gonna go right. All right. We're gonna go right over here. Okay, now we're gonna go over here. Look at Mr. Carey. Okay, we're gonna go over here. All right, and we're gonna go over here to Barbara. All right, thank you again.
Thank you.
All right, next from the town of Carmel, Anthony Del Duca. Where's Anthony? Come on up, buddy. Oh! Woo! All right, Mr. Del Duca grew up in Somers, New York, and entered the Air Force in February of 1983. Correct. Ooh, all right, we got the first part done. Upon graduation from basic military training, he went direct duty to Mather Air Force Base? Mather Air Force Base in California as a plumbing apprentice with the 323rd Civil Engineer Squadron. Following, he served at Cosimo Air Station in Italy, where he was assigned to the off-base apartment maintenance team. As a member of this team, he was responsible for directing local civilian employees, planning and scheduling work orders, and performing various plumbing repairs in government leased apartments throughout the local area. Upon release from active duty, he returned to his hometown where he went to work for a plumbing and heating contractor. In August of 1987, he joined the Air Force Reserves and the 439th Civil Engineer Squadron at Westover Air Force Base in Massachusetts. There, he would eventually retire as Chief Master Sergeant in 2015. Mr. Del Duca received various awards, including the Meritorious Service Medal with Oak Leaf Cluster, the Air Force Commendation Medal with an Oak Leaf Cluster, and the Air Force Achievement Medal with 2 Oak Leaf Clusters. He's also an active life member of the Mayapack VFW Post 5491. He has served on Putnam County's Council of VFWs and is a member of the Mahopac American Legion Post 1080 and currently works for the Putnam County Sheriff's Department as a correctional officer. And it is an absolute honor and a privilege to induct Mr. Del Duca into the Veterans Hall of Fame for the 94th Assembly District. All right, we're going to go this way, and we're going to go that way. All right, now we're going to come over here. All right, we're going to go look right over there. All right, very good. Fantastic. Now, on behalf of the town of Carmel, before we let you speak, we do have Supervisor Kazari, and we have Frank Lombardi, Deputy Supervisor. Gentlemen, you want to come up?
I'm sure that Frank's going to want to speak about Anthony, but Chief Master Sergeant Del Duca, he is a leader in our community. He does so much for the Mahopac residents and the whole town of Carmel with his volunteer work at both the Legion and the VFW. Thank you so much. It's so much well-deserved that you got this award. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. It really is an honor for me to be here this morning. When we nominated Anthony, it was just an easy choice. But I have to also acknowledge two dear friends who are being honored here today, and it really is an honor for me to be here. Otto, who's at the Knights of Columbus all the time, so he is actually a part-time Carmel resident, and as well as Jack, who's here at the VFW constantly. So Jack, we've adopted you in the town of Carmel as well. So, but in all seriousness, in giving this award to Anthony, he's such a valued member of our town. You cannot list the things that this gentleman does with his fellow VFW members who are all here today. So I want to thank them all here. Thank them all for being here for Anthony and for Anthony, everything that you do as a friend. Thank you.
And we have a proclamation from us, from the town of Carmel. We won't read the whole thing again.
We won't necessarily read it.
No, I'm not reading it, so, but thank you so much for everything that you do.
Let's start this way, and then we'll go around. All right, we're going to come over here.
Remember, make me look tall.
All right, we got one more right there. Good, all right. Anthony, you want to say a few words at the podium and we'll bring your family up?
Yeah, I'll say a few words first. They're used to listening to me. First of all, I'd like to thank the Assemblyman for doing this and keeping this tradition alive. So, Matt, thank you. On top of that, thank you for your continued support to the veterans in this community. I recently wrote something, and of course it was on Facebook, but so that makes it real. This community, this county, Upper Westchester, you know, so veteran friendly, so dedicated to the veterans in this community. I could not be more honored living here. As the Assemblyman said, I started out in Somers, New York, and I moved a whopping like 5 miles to Mahopac. I've been here my whole life. My mother's family was born and raised in Somers, so, you know, I know the sense of the community. So I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. I'll be here through my retirement, through my official retirement, to continue doing what we do for the VFW. I'd like to thank a few people. First of all, I have to thank my mother. At age 17, she signed for me to go into the Air Force. A little reluctantly, but she did it. So I enlisted in the Air Force about a month before I graduated high school, and then I went away to basic training in February of that year. Served my active duty, came home, went in the reserves. Ended up doing some time in the reserves, got married to my wife, Karen. So the next I actually have to thank my wife, Karen, because I can't even think of the amount of years because they get all convoluted. But definitely more than 25 years she put up with me going away, my deployments, everything else that I did. And when you think of Guard and Reserve, don't think of it as 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks a year. I was out of the house several months a year at least in between doing a real civilian job. Next, I'd like to thank my kids because it wasn't easy growing up with me constantly out the door. Sometimes I'd come home, I'd be home for a week, and I'd have to turn around and go back out. So my daughter Rachel's here. My son David, who's also a Air Force veteran, he could not be here because he just started NYPD. He graduated last week.
Awesome.
It's his first, it was his first couple days. He made his first arrest, so he had to go in and process his arrest. But anyway, thanks to them. I'd also like to thank my other family, and that's the Mayapack VFW. Our auxiliary, our guests, our regular members, everybody that walks in the doors of that post, the way they support that post and support each other. Definitely a round of applause for them because we couldn't do in this community what we do without that team, without that family. So thank you all very much. I think I got everybody. But again, thanks to our elected officials, thanks to the town of Carmel. You know, it just means a lot. I have to say this. So sometimes I'm asked about what the hardest deployment is or was for me, and I've been all over. The hardest deployment were the ones that I had to send my people on, and I, for whatever political reasons, not that kind of political, sorry, for whatever political reasons, I was not allowed to go because they couldn't have the higher ranking leadership. That was the most difficult, knowing that I had my men and women serving without me. So they're always in my thoughts to this day. Next month I'll be going to my annual squadron Christmas party just to check in on them. But I definitely will always keep them in my heart and in my mind and in my thoughts and in my prayers because even though it seems like we're not in the middle of a bunch of battles or a major war, we have men and women serving every day across this country, overseas. They're away from home. They're going to be spending Thanksgiving, Christmas, the holidays, birthdays, anniversaries. So please just keep them in your thoughts and prayers. Thank you.
You want to get your daughter up here?
Yeah.
One more picture. One more picture. Yeah, Rachel up here. Oh. You didn't think?
And I'm sorry, I was just told I didn't thank Sonny. Sonny's my grandson.
Yeah, bud. We're gonna start this way and we'll end here, okay? All right. Come over here. Good? We're good? All right. Thank you. Big round of applause again for Mr. Del Duca. Thank you. Congratulations. From the town of Somers, I'm going to skip it. I'm going to call an audible here. Unfortunately, Judge Timone couldn't join us this morning, but I do want to just recognize him and his service, and I'm just going to read what he did for our country, because I think it's critically important. Judge Timone, Dennis, was drafted into the Army at 25 years old after attending undergraduate and law school and graduating Marquette University in 1968. He entered the U.S. Army and served in the Vietnam War in 1969 and 1970. Mr. Timone was stationed in the Americal Division, 196th Light Infantry Brigade in Vietnam. He saw action in the I-Zone, North Central Highlands of Vietnam. His military occupational specialty was 11 Bravo Infantry. Mr. Timone was awarded 2 Bronze Stars with V device and oak leaf clusters. And we talked about earlier how he had American heroes like Judge Timone serving during Black Monday. That's the individual that we were referring to. Mr. Timone again awarded 2 Bronze Stars, and since returning home, he had been involved in a variety of volunteer work and community service. He's been an active member of the Somers Lions Club for over 40 years and has been a participant in fundraising community events for Relay for Life and the Duke Cancer Institute. He's been active with El Centro Hispano in White Plains since its inception in 1974. He was a soccer coach for ASO in Somers and volunteered with the Somers Leos Club for over a decade. Lastly, Mr. Timone just ended his tenure as town justice in the town of Somers for over 40 years. 40 years. Mr. Timone and his wife of over 50 years, Meg, have lived in Somers since 1977. They've raised 3 children and are proud grandparents to 5 grandchildren. And so we are inducting Judge Timone into the 94th Assembly District's Veterans Hall of Fame. Unfortunately, he is unable to be here, but I think deserves an incredible round of applause for his great service. And last but not least, we got someone very special here. We have Mr. Nils Mokler. Nils, how are you today? Would you mind joining me up here? Is that okay? Yeah? Yep, I got you. Right here. Well, Mr. Mokler served in the United States Marine Corps from 1944 to 1946 and is one of a handful of survivors from the Battle of Iwo Jima. Serving as a private and as a combat intelligence scout in the Marine Corps, Mr. Mokler spent 5 days on the island tracking down tanks to assess their status as well as needs for additional personnel, water, or ammunition. Mr. Mokler relates that what was supposed to be the easiest 2-day invasion of the island ended up being a 6-week battle that saw 6,800 U.S. casualties and 1,900 wounded. Mr. Mokler, when I met him a few times, but just recently presented me with a little vial of soil from his last trip. Sand, not soil. Sand from his last trip to Iwo Jima, something that I brought home to my son, who's 9, and I had to explain to him where Iwo Jima was, what took place on Iwo Jima, and why this might be one of the greatest things anyone's ever given to me, because it came from a true American hero in Mr. Mokler. And I am just honored, so honored to be able to induct him into our Veterans Hall of Fame, a true American hero. Ladies and gentlemen, Nils Mokler from the town of Yorktown. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. You gotta wait a second. Here, put your hand back here. I just want you to stand your hand around you. Looking sharp. Looking sharp. Now, you have to just wait 2 more seconds for me, okay?
Yes.
We do have, on behalf of the New York State Assembly, I'll take this back for you, but that is a proclamation recognizing and celebrating their service. We also have from Congressman Lawler's office.
Okay. You realize I'm blind, so I will have somebody read it.
Yeah, it's
What does this say?
certificate of special congressional recognition.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Now, we do have, before I let you speak, we do have some guests from the town of Yorktown who I'm going to invite up. We have our town supervisor, Ed Lochterman, and we have Councilman Patrick Murphy.
So unlike everyone else, I am not going to thank the Assemblyman because he actually puts one of the hardest jobs imaginable on us, which is picking a veteran for the Hall of Fame. To me, every veteran who signs that paper does not know what that check will need to be paid out to, everything up to including their life. So you don't know where you're going when you sign, so anyone who signs into the military, to me, is a true American and a true American hero. So thank you to all of our veterans in the room today. As I pointed out, it's one of the hardest decisions we could make, so I am sure Assemblyman Slater is happy to pass that on to us. But I do appreciate everything that Matt does, not only for the Assembly District, not only for the towns he represents, but also serving in the Navy as well today, and we do appreciate that, Matt. But let me talk a little bit about Nils. We had gotten the notification that we needed to find someone for the Veteran Hall of Fame. I asked my town board any suggestions, and with 5 members, you get 5 different answers. So there's a big decision to make, and as things were narrowing down, I heard a couple of Lions in the room, but I'm also a Yorktown Lion, and we run a summer concert series. And we had a Meatloaf concert. We got rained indoors, so we had to move inside. And I met Nils at that concert and was amazed and heard a little bit of his story. Then at our final concert, which is a military tribute concert, Nils showed up, and it wasn't the interaction with me that made me realize the pride, the absolute honor, the dedication to our country and the service, but we had a bunch of basically kids there who were very into the military and do military reenactments, and they were dressed in World War II garb. Our chaplain from our Sons of the American Legion, who I serve with, Paul Martin, had his 1942 Jeep Willys there. And Nils spent about an hour, hour and a half speaking with all of these young children, well, to me, young children, but young adults, and really making an impression on them. So I made a couple of phone calls to Nils. We spoke a few times on some different things. He promised brevity in his speech, and half an hour, 45 minutes later, as he's laughing, I was getting the dog back home because I was walking and talking, but the time went like that. The stories, the care of the details, the love of the country, but most important, the honor and memory of those he served with, all of those veterans, are what made me realize that Nils was our perfect choice for the Veterans Hall of Fame. So Nils, I thank you for accepting. I thank you for all you've done, and look forward for you to being our keynote speaker on Monday at our Veterans Celebration in Yorktown.
And I warned you.
Patrick?
I'll just say that I'm a politician, doesn't like to talk, so I'll make it quick. Matt, thank you for keeping this very active, and every year it's growing and growing. It's very nice to see. And just on, behalf of me personally, thank you. I want to thank all the vets. I appreciate everything you do. Without you guys, we wouldn't have these freedoms that we so thoroughly enjoy. So thank you again, okay?
We'll do a quick picture, then we're going to let Nils. Yep.
Nils, we have a certificate for you as well from the town of Yorktown, in appreciation of your service.
Thank you.
We do appreciate
Here, we'll do a quick picture here. Yeah, he's got a lot of hard work. Shoni, come on in. Nils, I'm going to take this from you for a second.
Yes.
Okay, and we're going to put this back here, and we're going to take a quick picture.
And magic hat.
Okay, we're going to look right here. All right, Mr. Moakler, the podium is yours. Let me help you out over here.
It's a lectern.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Oh, okay, yes. My name is Nils Mokler, and I'm older than dirt. But I got to spend 2.5 years in the United States Marine Corps. A collection of heroes and misfits, and the greatest outfit in the damn world, okay? There was nothing else in the world for me but the Marine Corps. Okay, I got in at 17. They had to wait while I fattened up from 122 pounds until they got desperate, and I was 122 and a half. I aced boot camp. I managed to get into the combat intelligence group. We didn't have SEALs. We had, maybe the closest they had. I loved it. Okay, I was assigned to the tank battalion for 4th Marine Division, and they had nothing for me to do. Just, can't have a scout on Iwo Jima. But because I had an intelligence spec number, I sat in on the briefing. This was going to be just a skirmish, 2 days. We went in with 1 canteen of water, maybe a bandolier of clips for the M1, 2 boxes of inedible food. The box tasted better than the food in it. It was K-Rod. It was just incredible. You had maybe your toothbrush and a shave and a razor in the pack, 1 blanket, 1 shelter half, and 1 poncho. We put our clothes on about the 18th, and then we took them back off 6 weeks later. Never had my boots off, and I had the... So I didn't mean to be a witness. I didn't mean to get to be 98 years old. I didn't mean to get to be able to have people treat me as if I was some kind of a damn hero. I'm a survivor. And when I tell my wife when I try to talk, I have 6,800 17-year-old kids looking over my shoulder. So, but altogether, all of the people in the United States got together between December 6th and December 8th of 1941. We switched over and became one united country. So I got to see that miracle. And then on Iwo, I was as far from the volcano as you could get and still see it. I was right up against the cliffs. Well, the hills, they weren't really cliffs. And we were under constant bombardment. The cemetery had grown from about the size of this room to 1,000 feet a day with burials. 100 kids a day was a good day, and there were no good days. We were being shellacked. And then I looked up, and then everybody on the beach was standing still, and they all had their backs to me. So I looked up on the volcano. So I'm the richest person you'll ever see. I got to see that flag. Whoever had the idea of getting that big flag up there did everything in the world. We just, okay. So I came back from the Corps and worked here. I built a few hundred houses here. I built an I-84 all by myself. I did your Yorktown disposal plant all by myself. We all felt that way. So again, in behalf of all the kids and all the people who are serving now, from John Galea, who's a Navy SEAL, my friend John, the sniper, I shot people in the face for 20 years for a living. The people who are keeping this country and who kept it and are doing it now. Every one of the guys who was here today, and I hope we can get all of the real heroes up here for a picture together, all right? Please. And again, on behalf again of a list of names that would take me a day to read, I thank you all. Thank you. Pardon me.
I'm gonna walk you back over. We're gonna get your family back up. We'll get your family. You wanna come over? Can you come over here? Anybody else?
Yeah, where's Theo?
Theo? Where's Theo? Got all the Marines coming up. Come on. Get over there. Come on, Rich. Okay.
But for every Marine, the older you are, okay, it's, again, as I told them, I picked up sand 2023 from, Green Beach for this time, in 1995, below the cemetery, and it's a mixture. So I have a little tiny bit, and the Marines, he was 6 weeks with death. Okay, okay.
All right, look straight ahead. Let's look straight ahead. There you go. Of course, Jack. Of course. Yeah, we will. Yep. Well, Niels, don't go anywhere. So, ladies and gentlemen, I can't think of a better way to conclude than by honoring a member of the greatest generation. What a special treat for all of us to have someone like Niels Moakler here with us today. Really a reminder of everything that makes America great. A reminder of why we sacrifice so much to call this amazing country our home. And a reminder of the incredible gift that we have inherited and why it's so important that we continue to cherish it, why we continue to nourish it, and why we continue to protect it. And I'm so glad we have some great young people here. Future generation of Americans who are here to witness and see and hear from some great American heroes. And Nils, you are an American hero. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. And so, with that, I do want to thank everyone for coming out here today, taking time out of your busy schedules to recognize, to celebrate, to lift up American heroes who call the 94th Assembly District home. It is an absolute honor and absolute privilege to host this event. We will continue to do it every single year as long as I hold office, but it is just an incredible experience to hear from these incredible soldiers, sailors, members of the military, people who've stood on the line and protected our freedoms so that we can sleep safe at night. And I can't thank them enough from the bottom of my heart for all that they've done, all they continue to do, and all the wisdom they continue to share with us. And with that, I just want to thank you all for being here. May God bless all of our veterans. May God bless the class of 2024 for our Veterans Hall of Fame. And of course, may God always bless the United States of America. We're going to ask all of the honorees, we're going to ask all of our honorees if they can come up and join Mr. Moakler up here for a group photo. There'll be plenty of opportunities for pictures. And I know, Tracy, you want to say a few words, so why don't you come up here while the guys are moving on up.
Hi, my name is Tracy Griffin, and I am a lifetime member of the MAPAC VFW Auxiliary, United for the Troops, Operation Cookie Drop, and United for the Community Crafters is the main one at the MAPAC Library. The reason I'm here is because there's been a lot of men honored today, but we just recently got involved with a group of women veterans up in Montgomery, New York, who were living in tents with nothing but the clothes on their back. And thankfully to the groups, especially the community crafters, we were able to make them blankets for their beds, shawls, and give them toiletries twice now. So I just wanted to say, it's not just the men, there's so many women veterans, homeless, that were abused and weren't treated as well as some of the men. And I think they should be honored too. So thank you.
There's plenty of coffee and cookies in the back. I want to again thank everyone for coming out here today. Please feel free to come up and take some pictures with these great American heroes. And again, thank you everyone for being here today. Appreciate it.